Today we're going to talk about the Paul Bunyan Award. Hey, ScouterStan, let's talk a little bit about the Paul Bunyan Award. Justin asked, what is this? He's going off to summer camp and he's already signed up for all the courses so that he could get the Paul Bunyan Award. Now, Paul Bunyan is an American myth, the mythology of Paul Bunyan, a giant that could actually clear an entire acre of woods with one swing of the axe. Kind of a very far-pitched story. Okay. I did come across a channel here on YouTube that actually has myths, and they talk about different kinds. If you're interested in the myth of Paul Bunyan, I'll leave a link down below. I leave lots of links down there, so definitely check those out. But he had a blue ox who was literally blue, and they roamed the West. And it became such a big mythology. They credited him for creating the Grand Canyon, digging it with his axe that he drug through the canyon, and of course, straightening out annoyingly bendy, curvy rivers by just pulling on them. That's a Paul Bunyan. Okay, so Paul Bunyan is kind of a far-fetched tale, but it's an American folklore. And the Paul Bunyan Award is kind of a lumberjack or a woodsman kind of award. Now, this award is not restricted to only youth. It is restricted to Scouts BSA or up, and mainly because the requirements are different for some of the requirements of the Paul Bunyan Award for Cub Scouts. Cub Scouts, they don't get the totem chip, they get a whittling chip. So it's a little bit different, and they wouldn't be able to get a totem chip until they are actually in a Scouts BSA unit. And because of that, they are excluded away from the Paul Bunyan Award. No problem for first-year Scouts in earning that. You could definitely go to summer camp and get most of those requirements completed. And that's the neat thing about it. And it's not exclusive. If you have an adult that wants to get the Paul Bunyan Award, totally fine. Now, the Paul Bunyan Award is represented by a double bite axe. That's what you see in this patch. It's a small patch, and it's not necessarily meant for uniform wear. It's really meant to put on a backpack or a carrying bag or a day bag. That's something you can put on there. You can also put it, wear it predominantly on a camp blanket. That would be fine. But I have seen, and this is kind of new, I have seen Scouts putting achievements like the Paul Bunyan and stuff like that on the back of their merit badge sash. I looked into it. There's no information, let's say, or guidelines on what is appropriate on the back of a merit badge sash. So I think it's fair game. And I like seeing it. I think that other leaders like that. I do Eagle boards of review, and they all wear their merit badge sash, and they're very proud of their merit badge, and that's all that's in the front on a merit badge sash. But they've got all this real estate on the back of the sash. I like it when I see the Paul Bunyan on there, or Appalachian Trail patches, or achievements like 1 mile swim and things like that on the back of their sash. I think that's a wonderful place to have those, because those are major achievements, but they're not really meant for regular wear. And if you don't wear them, no one knows you have them. So that's the thing. We want to make sure that Scouts are recognized for all of those activities and those things that they do. That is so important. Now let's jump into some of the requirements that are needed to achieve the Paul Bunyan Woodsman Award. Now, some of the reference material is actually on the card when you achieve this. It's actually, the requirements are on there. So if you're asked, there's a reminder on the back of the card. This is it's recommended that you refer back to a lot of the information that's in your Scouts BSA handbook, along with your camping merit badge handbook, and also work with your Scoutmaster. That's very important that they're aware that you are wanting to achieve this award. Here is the first requirement. Explain the most likely hazard you may encounter while participating in camping activities and what you should do to anticipate, help prevent, mitigate, and respond to these hazards. Number 2, show that you know first aid for injuries that occur while using wood tools. Number 3, you must earn the totemship. Number 4, help a scout or patrol earn the totemship and demonstrate to them the value of proper wood tool use. Number 5, earn the fireman chit. These are critical skills, and that's not it, but we're going to be right back. Now, before we go any further, I do want to invite you to our monthly meeting. It's on the first Sunday of each month, and it's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So you're more than welcome to join us and ask questions and just have fun. You know, that's one of those wonderful things about that meeting. I also want to thank everybody on Patreon for their continued support of our channel. And our channel members. You can be a channel member. You hit the join button and join up. There's all kinds of badges and emojis and different things. They even get the videos exclusively for themselves, ad-free, which is an added bonus. And then, of course, if you don't want to join in and do a monthly donation, you could always do a one-time donation by hitting the thanks button. So get involved. I really do appreciate all that you do in scouting and here on the channel. Now, the next big requirement, 6, is to know the equipment and how these wood tools are used safely. This would include an axe, a hatchet, loppers, McLeod, Pulaski, saws, and shovels. These items are critical to everything that a woodsman would need for this award, for the Paul Bunyan Award. So number 6 is really important. You have to know the equipment. Number 7, with official approval and supervision using wood tools, spend at least 2 hours doing one of the following conservations. Clear a trail or a fire lane. These are critical to keeping the woodlands safe, is keeping those trails to get to a fire break, to a fire lane. That is so important to keep those things clear. Trim down a tree, cutting it into 4-foot lengths, then stacking it with all of the branches and everything off the trail. Building a natural retention wall or an irrigation way in a planned conservation effort. These are one of those things has to be done in that last requirement. Now, the Paul Bunyan Award is a wonderful thing, so definitely look into it. There are links below that actually has a lot of that stuff in it. We also have a video. Yep, we have a video up there for the Conservation Award, and these kind of go together. So definitely think about putting that together within your unit. You could do this as a group. That's a wonderful thing. You can get somebody that's doing the Conservation Award and have the entire group get the Paul Bunyan. So that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. They kind of relate to one another. A lot of the tools, a lot of the skills that are learned, and the safety that's learned That's so critical to any of this. It's amazing that sometimes parents get a little excited because we tell them we're going to take them out into the wilderness and teach them skills that will keep them safe, and they will know how to use an axe and a knife and a saw and be able to be responsible with those things. It's a beautiful thing, because there are so many today that are not responsible with those things. Those are tools that are needed for anybody who's into the Paul Bunyan Award or even a woodsman. That is so important for all of those skills to be taught. And we do that as leaders, and I'm so very proud of all that you do for your scouts. That is a wonderful thing. Please keep up that good, hard work, and I will see you on the trail.